second period. Welcome back to the Colisée in Quebec City. The Edmonton Oilers have done all the scoring for the National Hockey League. Curry in the first period, Glenn Anderson in the second period. Joining me in our studio is Pittsburgh's Mario Lemieux, the leading vote getter, and the man that assisted on that Glenn Anderson goal. First of all, Mario, let's clear something up. We kept reading and hearing prior to this series that you didn't want to take part.
Not really. Because of the injury of my knee, I said that I was going to take a decision a couple of days before the rendezvous. At that time, I had 5 more games to play, and I was going to see a couple of days before the rendezvous if my knee was okay, and I went to see the doctor, and everything was fine, so I didn't say that I wasn't going here.
What about your knee? There was some speculation you might have hurt it in the first period?
No, everything's fine. I'm wearing a brace right now, and I just missed a shift. Jean Perron made a change for Robert Chuck for me. So.
All right, we should tell the viewers at home, when you came in, you looked at me and you went, whew, God, is it fast out there?
Yeah, it is. It's a different game. They cross over a lot, and they skate. They never stop on the ice, and it's hard to get used to that and read the play properly. And I guess we just have to keep one man high and try to read the play as well as we can.
Your defense has played very well. Without Howe and Coffey, there was some concern they might not be able to lug it out with the exception of Raymond Bourque, but the defense has played well tonight.
Well, everybody's playing well. We're playing good defense, and that's the key against the Russians. Every defense that we have on the team are good with the puck, and they can look up and make a play and get us out of our zone, and they're playing very well.
Take us behind the scenes, the mental preparation. What did you guys do last night? How do you get ready for this? It comes so suddenly at you.
Well, it's just we had a team meal last night, and we just get together, talk a little bit about the game tomorrow, and we go to bed early.
Can you sleep?
Well, it was tough for me to sleep. I couldn't sleep before 2 or 3 o'clock last night, and you always think about the game tomorrow and the pressure and the media that you have to face, and it's always hard to prepare against the Soviets.
Mario, is there a clubhouse leader for the National Hockey League, maybe a veteran that sort of speaks for everyone?
I think we have a few. Ray Bourque, he's been around quite a few years, especially Wayne Gretzky is our captain, and he talks a lot in the room. Rod Langway and all these great hockey players that have been around for 5, 6, 7 years are our leader this year.
All right, congratulations on a good effort so far. Good luck in the third period. Hopefully no overtime, and good luck in the game on Friday. Stay with us. That is Pittsburgh's Mario Lemieux, and our second intermission will continue live from the Colisée in Quebec City right after this. Stay with us. And Glenn Anderson with the goals for the National Hockey League. Everyone's been talking about the off-ice activities and distractions here this week. No one throws a party like the people in Quebec City. Let's relive a very special week. The week-long festivities here in Quebec City have been an added bonus to the popular annual Carnival. So a week at a glance for Rendezvous 87 must include the International Ice Sculpture Competition with top prize this year going to Finland. Now, no carnival in Quebec City is complete without Bonhomme Carnival, the event's spiritual leader and mascot, promoting the joy of wintertime activity and celebration. Everyone loves a parade, and this week visitors to the grand old capital will have had more than their share, including one that is still to come tomorrow night that we'll have here in CBC. Carnival Queen is Susie Caron. She'll reign over festivities this year. She is the 33rd Queen and was crowned last Thursday. Her Carnival Majesty and Bonhomme were regally welcomed to a formal ball to launch her year-long reign over carnival activities marked by, of course, the traditional waltz. And from the traditional to the world-famous Bolshoi Ballet from the Soviet Union. Things are changing behind the Iron Curtain, folks. This is a Soviet rock group called Autograph. But the team arrival was the most anticipated ingredient to Rendezvous 87. Coach Viktor Tikhonov and his national team headed for another showdown with the NHL in this 2-game series. Competition aside, though, there is something for everyone's appetite in Quebec City this week, including the Red Army Choir, also known as the Alexandrov Soviet Army Song and Dance Ensemble. The National Hockey League Hall of Fame has moved up here to Quebec City. Since the move from Toronto, I'll tell you, huge crowds, unbelievable, have filed through daily. Some 4,000 items, almost the entire Hall of Fame collection, have been on display, much to the delight of those who have waited their turn. Long lineups. There are two of the stars from '72, Václav Tretiak and, of course, Paul Henderson, who scored that winning goal. Paul here earlier this week. He's back in Toronto tonight. There are photos, logos, sweaters, sticks, skates, and all sorts of hockey artifacts assembled throughout the Hall's temporary Quebec City Armory location. Depicted in various black and white or color photos and paintings are the game's greatest teams and action plays. Memorabilia including team programs, books, magazines, as well as a display of the types of skates which have been used throughout the years. Meanwhile, over at the Coliseum, Montreal's Jean Perron and his assistants, Calgary's Bob Johnson, Quebec's Michel Bergeron, have done their utmost to prepare the All-Stars in a short time span. Two practices, one at Laval University Monday, and this one at the Coliseum yesterday, was all the time that the coaching staff had with their recently assembled All-Stars. They held their usual pregame skate this morning. Now, over at the Soviet national side, Coach Viktor Tikhonov has had his team well-trained and prepared for this Rendezvous 87 confrontation. 12 of his Soviet players are members of Tikhonov's strong Red Army team back home. That is 10 straight years Red Army, the national champion. And as we watch the Soviets work out, their practices are unbelievable. Wayne Gretzky says, I don't even look at them, I get intimidated. It hasn't, however, been all work and no play for the teams. They've been welcomed at various gala functions during the week. One such appearance by the hockey greats was the much-talked-about Gourmet Spectacular. Truly a gastronomic feast which involved 10 courses and, I'll tell you, almost as much wine. The menu is the diligent work of hundreds of chefs offering Canadian, American, and Soviet appetizing delights. There were countless surprises on the menu, and the night's program was a tremendous success. I know what some of you people at home are thinking, but the answer is no. Those two dogs were not part of the gourmet evening. They were simply there for show. Live on CBC television, you're watching Rendezvous 87 from Quebec City. Dealers throughout Canada.
Grant Fuhr made a couple of spectacular saves in the second period of this hockey game as the Soviets pressed to get back on even terms. And you'll see him take one away from Krutov. The puck goes down into the Team NHL zone, and it comes across to Krutov, but Fuhr, with that great lateral movement, comes sliding across to deflect the puck into the corner. And then perhaps the best save we've seen for quite some time. Fetisov will move into the slot as Makarov spots him breaking through, and he'll move right in on Fuhr, going for the glove side, but Grant Fuhr whips out that glove hand to take the puck off the stick of Fetisov, and it's still 1-0. Then the Canadians, or Team NHL, made it a 2-0 hockey game as Glenn Anderson goes back of the net and puts it between the legs of Beloshakin. And then an unfortunate goal as far as Team NHL was concerned. It appears to harmlessly come back to Kazanotov. He takes a weak shot, but Fuhr seems to get his glove and his stick tangled together, and it skipped between his legs. A late goal, and it's 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. Team NHL leading the Soviet Union.
Replay brought to you by Apple and authorized Apple dealers throughout Canada.